Yo, 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 what's up, people? How y'all doing? All right. Hello, hello. Thank you for everyone who was patient there. Yeah, my internet just decided to go down randomly. But we're back. We're good, which is great because we have a lot to talk about today. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, bro? Curtis Hill, great to see you, bro. Bull Runner, welcome back, man. Cuban, always good to see you. Brown, what's up? Fecker, what's up? Hunter, how you doing? All right. So, what has happened since the weekly open stream last night? So, like we talked about, we had this 4-hour break of structure. The price has drifted back up on the 4-hour, which is what we were expecting. Didn't quite come to where we thought we'd be right now, around this 116 area. Did put in a nice daily close. Let's look at our 4-hour here. So we flipped structure bullishly on the 4-hour here. We're getting a nice move up. We don't necessarily need to come down, but a prepared trader is a profitable trader, right? So understanding that we could come down to like this 113.3 area for a golden pocket bounce. If we are looking at the 0.5 area, would be around the spider line here. If we do find ourselves back around 113.7, around the spider line, I would expect that to be strong support. It's also the retest of previous highs, right? So if you're looking for an entry, generally, you can look at the retest of previous highs. Let's take a look at our indicators here. So what were we talking about last night, right? So we were talking about the last piece of the puzzle that was missing after these 4-hour buy signals was the trend ribbon flipping blue. Once that flips blue, underneath the trend ribbon would be a buy. This would have been your entry this morning. And then, you know, we bounced off the 50 EMA, trying to flip the 200 to support here. Good stuff. What did we talk about on the stream last night, right? Assume you don't have Cipher Matrix, right? What did we talk about? We talked about how the price came under the 200 EMA, right? You would be buying it with TP1 being the 50 EMA. If you had done that, you got a perfect TP on the 50 EMA. Now, we're trying to hold support so we can go higher right now, which is good. Still bullish EMAs here. Let's look at our 6-hour. 6-hour 50 EMA sitting at about 116K, which is where we were expecting the price to go here. So it does look good here. Let's look. We got a nice 12-hour buy signal that we were talking about on stream. You had 3 white soldiers, started moving up there. We got that this morning. We're getting a little turbulence where you would expect over the purple trend cloud here. I do like how the daily MACD is starting to flip up. We've got 2 confirmed bullish candles in a row. Now, one thing to keep in mind is to watch for today's candle close. If you've been watching this channel, you know in the past that we've used the 3 white soldiers pattern, right, to indicate these bigger continuation moves up, right? 3 green candles, continuation to the upside, right? 3 green candles, consolidate, continue to the upside, right? 3 green candles, continuation to the upside. So that is something to be aware of when it comes like closer to tomorrow's close. Just looking to see if we can keep this momentum and run that into tomorrow. We did nicely bounce right from the daily 50 EMA, right? So you get overheated, you get into this daily reversal zone here. You follow the reversal zone, test it as resistance, and you lose your trend ribbon. You come down, right? It's 50 EMA. Mean reversion there. We are bouncing underneath that now. Retested the 12-hour 50 EMA as well. We would want to see us get above that. Well, I'm still looking at us to come up to our VWAP target at 116.3. So we were looking at that, and then we were looking at ETH here. Now, ETH actually did hit the target, right? I went over this in the Discord whenever we hit it. When we were looking for ETH to come up to last week's VWAP. Oh, yeah, I already have that on there. Right, so we were looking for ETH to come up to 37.10. We did hit 37.10 nicely earlier in the day. We're getting a little bit of a retracement now, but again, this is riding in the reversal zones on ETH. ETH looks very strong, right? But we did, I think we were like down here, like 35 whenever we did the stream last night. Yeah, around like 3,500. We said we were expecting it to come up to 37.10. Nice little move there. So I am still expecting Bitcoin to do the same thing, expecting Bitcoin to complete the move, come up to around 116.3. And then we're still looking for the reclaim of this previous week value area at around 116.7 for a rotation back up to the highs. We do have bullish structure. Now, another thing that we look at, if you're looking at the 4-hour here, if we're taking a move from the high to the low on the 4-hour, and we look at our range deviation level, so that was around 114.5, right? So 114.5. So we did close above that, right? So this was your clue, right? If we're replaying price action here, right? You get your proof of direction here with this 4-hour close above the range deviation. Then you come down below the trend ribbon, right? After it turns blue, that's your entry, right? And now you're expecting a push higher because you got your direction from the range deviation. So that's good. So nothing really too concerning on here. 4-hour structure still bullish. We still bounced from the 886. We came back up. We reclaimed the 786, and now we're just testing the golden pocket as resistance. An idea to keep in mind more locally, right? So we have this 50 EMA on the 4-hour. This kind of EMA cluster on the 4-hour. We also have that 12-hour 50 EMA that we're at as well, and this previous golden pocket that we did use for a bounce back here at 115.3. So if we're able to flip 115.3 to support, that looks a lot better for a value area rotation, right? So that would be the first obstacle in our way, is kind of where we're at right now. One thing that I wanted to point out to you guys, and we go over this all the time, but I'll continue repeating this, right? Because the more times that I repeat this, hopefully, the more it gets into you guys' head, right? So whenever we were coming down, whenever you're getting these like impulsive moves, right? On the 5-minute, you have your 50 or 200. You have your 3 best short entries to get into the rest of the weekly correction move down, right? Price comes down. Then what happens? What I tell you guys to look for on the stream yesterday, right? 50 crosses the 200. You have your best entries into the trend for continuation to the upside. Even had another one there, right? Now, obviously, the first few are the strongest, right? But depending on how long you're in the trending move, it really does not have to be that difficult. Like, you guys can see it for yourself, right? Right. The more you see these things, the more it's going to be cemented in as a strategy that works, and the less hesitation you're going to have when you take the trade. Right? Same thing happens on the 15-minute, right? Same thing happens, right? So just something to keep in mind. That's why whenever I give you guys setups like this, we look at getting in to strength after the cross on the first touch below the 200. Okay, cool. Little bit of flagging out here. Let's see. So a couple things just to be aware of. So we were taking an eye at the weekly on yesterday's stream. This possible weekly sell signal here. Now remember, we don't necessarily take that much interest in like the sell signals that happen inside the reversal band. So the price would have to lose like 111, which what is that confluent with, right? That's confluent with the 4-hour structure. This also, look at this trend ribbon. This trend ribbon is tight in the blue. So there's nothing too concerning yet. This hasn't confirmed yet. We talked about the bearish engulf and the possibility of coming down to 108.6. One thing that I will point out, though, is that if we did come down to 108.6, we would be losing 4-hour structure. So like I said on the stream yesterday, I really like the way this bounce looks, even though it happened on the weekend, because it is a perfect 886 bounce. It's a perfect range mitigation, right? And normally in these Wyckoff moves, you would get a strong bounce from this mitigation. Coming down here is not bad though. You guys know from the structure video, this would be your decision demand, right? So if we do come down here, we would expect a strong bounce from there. You'd have to reclaim 4-hour structure, and then you can use that strong low as your low. But we play this level to level, one level at a time, and as long as our 4-hour structure is holding, there's really no reason to be bearish, right? Another thing that we like to look for on this channel is the EMAs, right? So right now, the 4-hour EMA is still bullish, right? The 4-hour 50 is still above the 200. Now, if the 4-hour 50 EMA was to cross below the 200, that would be a little bit of a cautionary signal, right? And we can see that if we go back in time, right? Right? When we see these crosses, can be a bit of a cautionary signal. Now, it can also be like a bottoming signal if you reclaim it quickly, right? But again, you can always get in on like the retest of that. But that would be your first signal. So my point with saying this is not that if this happens, the price is going down. It's just that I wouldn't get too bearish before we see something like this, right? Especially before we lose 4-hour structure. The 1 hour, let's take a look. So like the 1 hour did have a bearish cross, right? And so whenever we came up to test that earlier, we did see a bit of a rejection, right? EMA strat again, right? Right? And where would the target of this rejection, the first take profit, be? Generally, the first take profit would be the 50 EMA. So we would expect that after rejecting from the 1 hour 200, we would come down and test the 1 hour 50, right? If you're in a short from up here, then you would look to take profit at the mean reversion back at the 50 EMA. We are getting some sell signals here. We did get a strong rejection out of the reversal band here to be aware of, right? So also, as Geeky pointed out in the Discord earlier, right, we still have this downward regression trend on the 1 hour, right? So we have multiple time frames fighting. But it's also good to keep an eye on structure, right? And to keep an eye on like this trend ribbon. So where would this be concerning? So this would be concerning. Where's our relevant 1 hour low, right? So you need two bearish candles pushing the same direction, right? So it would be right here for now. So to mark our 1 hour structure low, it's going to be here, right? So this would be where we'd lose 1 hour structure. High, low, right? External, right? Even though this is a low here, this high does not come higher than this high. So we're looking at this low, right? So if we were to come down to the golden pocket on the 1 hour, we did. We got a golden pocket bounce on the 1 hour. So maybe we're going to come a little bit deeper, right? So if we're looking at that, what do we notice? We have a little confluence underneath the 1 hour 50 EMA, the 786 here. What do we also see here? We see we have a 1 hour breaker block, right? We have our 1 hour breaker block here. So if we're looking for a trade here to get in on trends, one thing we can look for is a bounce from this sweep the liquidity in this low, right? Hold 1 hour structure and try to make a move back up to like our 116 target, right? Up to our VWAP target, right? That's a 4-to-1 trade. Not bad, right? Assuming the 1 hour structure holds. So that's something to definitely keep an eye on because these order blocks you will see a bounce from, right? Now you can help yourself with your win rate by looking at like 2-minute structure coming out of the order block, but even without that, you would be getting into an uptrend, right? So it makes sense to take this trade, high risk to reward, take it enough times, pays for the ones that lose, right? That's what our job as traders. Okay. A couple more things to keep an eye on. So on Market Cipher here, we do have a couple things to be aware of. So we did have this red dot on the weekly, right? Money flow still coming up, right? It didn't start. We had like a little drop off, right? But when we zoom in a little bit, right, look at our daily. We have a daily momentum clip about to confirm on the hike in Ashes. On the standard candles, we have a daily green dot that just confirmed yesterday, right? Right, these daily green dots below the zero line show a shift in momentum, right? You can couple that with your MACD as well, right? You can understand that we generally get continuation moves out of here. Now combine that with something like 3 white soldiers, right? And you can get more confidence in the move. That's why I said looking at tomorrow's close is important. Now, we also, like I said, bounced from the daily 50 EMA, and we bounced from this spider line on non-log and on log, right? On log, this spider line bounce would take us back up to 119.428, which we do have confluence with that previous week value area rotation. On non-log, it would take us up to 117, right, which is confluent with this. What do we also know? Let's clean this up a little bit. So if you guys watched my Market Cipher A video, right, whenever the ribbon is lit up like this, the same way that the EMA strat works, right, you're looking to buy underneath on the daily as long as the EMA ribbon stays lit up, right? These are going to be good entries into the trend. Why? For the same reason that the EMA strat works, which understanding why it works will help you guys with having the confidence to use it, right? The reason for this is because the EMAs are showing you trend, right? So if they are gapped to the upside, then you know that you're in a strong uptrend, right? So when you're underneath all of the EMAs on that time frame, you know that you're getting cheap Bitcoin in a strong uptrend, right? The idea is to buy into strength at a low price, right? Cheap Bitcoin in an uptrend, right? So another confluence for buying at these levels, right? How often do we see these daily green dots below the zero line, right? So we had one at the beginning of June, one at the end of June, and now it's the beginning of August. We're seeing another one, right? So these opportunities don't come all the time. So it's just something to be aware of, for sure. Okay. Here, we're going to put an alert here as we go through the stream in case we tap this order block while we're live. Okay. Okay, something else that I want to point out to you guys. So for all of my people trading with Cipher Matrix here, so let's take a look. So when you have strong uptrend moves like this, you'll notice that if you know the trend is up, right, you can get really easy low drawdown longs just from looking at the reversal zone, right? Right? Now, one thing to keep in mind when we had our New York Open, right? So if you are, remember, you want to take trades in the same direction as trend, right? So if it's going up, you want to look for reversal zone retests down. If it's going down, you want to look for reversal zone retests up, right? Right? Same direction as trend. If it's ranging, that's when you can play both sides, right? But during these trends and recoveries, right, you want to be trading with trend. And the matrix channel will also show you trend. But what I was going to say, so if you've watched the New York Open video, right, with the 5-minute hiking strategy, this was New York Open, right? What do we see? We see oh, that was a ray. That's supposed to extend. We see bullish divergence into the reversal zone. We see a wick into the reversal zone that closes above, right? We see volume come in to push the price up, right? Low volume dump, high volume recovery. If we look on standard candles, you can see this as well, right? Doji engulfing candle with volume, right? This is your clue, right? Look at this candle, right? It wicks into the reversal zone, closes above, and the next candle starts to engulf it, right? So bullish divergence, 5-minute time frame, hitting the reversal zone, is there for the long in the morning. Now, if you guys aren't in the Discord, I would recommend joining the Discord. I have started something new in the Discord, so if you guys have been following me for long enough, you know that we used to do daily trading plans before. We're going to bring these back. Now, today we had the trading plan for the long. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we had the bullish breakout play, right? So 1 hour candle close above 114.800. You're looking to get in on 114.800 or the impulse above. Target 1 was 115.800. Stop loss is 114.350. So if we look at the 1 hour here, and again, guys, I will only wait. Please tell me my internet didn't just go down. No. Okay. Wait, can you guys hear me? Hey, can you guys hear me? Oh, sweet. Okay, awesome. Lost my train of thought there. Okay. Yeah, so we were looking at the 1 hour here. So right, so this is New York Open, right? So the daily, the 1 hour candle closes above 114.800, and then it comes just shy of that 115.800 target, right? But you still haven't been stopped out if your stop's at 114.350, right? So we're still in this trade. You could have taken profit at the 115.800 target. We got pretty close to that, but we did back test this. Back before when we were using it in another Discord. It is very high win rate. Of course, manage your risk. But if you're not in the Discord, make sure you join the Discord using the comment pinned at the top of the channel. Was anyone able to catch this trade, by the way? Put a 1 in the chat if you caught this. I'm just interested. Okay. Back to alpha though. So I went over the 5 minute that I wanted to go over. Let me just look at the 15 here. Oh, that would probably help. 15 minutes, just been riding up. Bottom of the channel, golden pocket. Yeah, okay. So the EMA trade was the only thing I wanted to go over on the 15 minute. Again, I'm just going to repeat what we went over yesterday, right? So this bounce at the bottom here, the 6 hour, we were underneath the 6 hour 200. We got a 6 hour buy signal, 6 hour reversal band. If you were looking at this on Cipher Matrix, right? This is a very strong signal, right? And you can just look back. When was the last time we had a 6 hour buy? It was down here at the bottom. When was the last time we were in the 6 hour reversal band? It was back here and back here, right? Very low prices. We're in an uptrend. You're looking to take buys in the other side of the reversal band. 1 second. Right? We're trending. We're going to be looking for entries into the trend at the lower end of the channel with strong buy signals, right? 12 hour then came after the 6 hour signal. Again, these setting alerts for these larger time frame signals, right, on the top 10 coins. If you're looking at like 1, 2, 3, 4 hour, 6 hour, 12 hour daily, right, on these coins is going to be very lucrative for you guys. Okay, right, like last 12 hour signal was here, right? Before that, the last 12 hour signal was at the bottom, right? So just definitely something to be aware of. Okay. Let's go look at ETH here. Okay, so ETH hit the target that we had from yesterday's stream. It's come back into the weekly value area, so if we do get a retest down here of like 36.56, you could look for longs there for a rotation up to the point of control, 37.79, and then a move up to 3,900. Take a look. So we hit the 50 EMA target as well on the 4 hour. Again, like, so this ETH buy signal on the 4 hour, right? If you had alerts, and I think Geeky shared these when they went off in the Discord as well, right? If you got this alert after getting these overbought signals here, you buy here, so you can put your stop loss below the next reversal band, right? From the 35.53, it was zero downside up, right? Just something to be aware of. These larger time frame signals don't come often, so definitely something to make sure you're paying attention to. We talked about how the RR was good here because you're in the bottom part of the band. Once you reclaim that, you can expect to move up. Awesome stuff. I know you guys have been wanting more educational content, so I'm definitely trying to make sure to call out everything that I see in the stream that could help you guys. So that those of you that are catching all the streams, make sure you get some alpha from it. Okay. 6 hour buy signal, right? Similarly, can drift it up from there. So let's see, where would we look for, so 4 hour structure. 4 hour structure on ETH is actually still bearish. Let's see. So the daily, let's see what our daily channel was. So this was our previous daily high and low. Let's put on our, hold on, my dog, sorry guys. Okay, sorry about that guys. So our daily came down, had a little bit of a range deviation here. Target of that range deviation would be premium up here, like 37.72, which is confluent with our point of control, right? So this would be our ultimate area of interest up here to kind of hit our head on as long as we hold above that value area low at 36.55. Hey Barb, what's going on? Good to see you. Okay. Let's take a look at our spider lines here. So we came down to our spider line on ETH here at 33.89. We're hitting our head on another spider line right now. If we can flip that, we could try to make a move up to that 4100 level we were looking at. We did hold the reversal band, which is good on the daily. Let's see. Look at our 1 hour. Kind of high. So we would want to hold this spider line as support here. If you don't have this spider line on your chart, you can draw it by connecting the pivots. Let's see, it's this one. The April 10th of 23 and the 19th of September of 2022 on the weekly time frame hike in Ashi. That'll give you this spider line. If we are looking here, man, look at the weekly MACD. Like, it's not even close to crossing bearishly. It's still in expansion. Okay. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I don't look at altcoins very often. I'm going to start looking at them more with you guys because we've been finding some nasty setups. Like Sol. Did any of you guys catch the Sol trade from yesterday? That's a daily golden cross trade, right? For context here. Daily golden cross on ETH, right? Price went from 2,600 to 3,800, right? Daily golden crosses, very powerful, right? And when you're lucky enough to get a retest, right? You didn't really get a retest yet on ETH, but on Sol, if you're lucky enough to get a retest like this, right, you're getting cheap Sol in a brand new daily uptrend, right? Good stuff. Good stuff. Congrats to anyone who got in that trade. I signaled it earlier in the Discord as well, so hopefully some of you guys jumped on that. Okay. Let's go back. We're going to get through this, guys. All right. So ETH hit the target at 37.10, having a little bit of a pullback now as expected. 8 hour MACD cross. On your 8 hour, watch for this trend ribbon to flip blue. All right, if you backtest these things, and that's another way you guys can get educational content on it too, right? If you want to see what happens, just go look at what happened the last time the indicator did what it's doing now, right? It's generally going to show you a good idea, right? So if you do flip the 8 hour bullish, right, you're buying underneath, right? Continuation up. Okay, and you see the EMA strat working here as well. Cool. Any questions on ETH or Bitcoin? 12 hour 50 EMA. Wait, did I pull that wrong? Oh no, this is a different chart. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, so I would just look for it to hold this spider line for continuation of the upside. If we start rejecting the spider line as resistance, we're probably coming down to the bottom of that. I think it was like 36.55 or 36.50 area, right? Underneath this trend ribbon, retesting the channel down. Yeah, I like that. Like I said, 36.50, very low. That can hold for rotations up to the 3700s. Cool. That's what I see on ETH. Man, look at that spider line bottom call there. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Cipher Matrix giving you the buy there too. Confluence. Okay. Let's look at Sol. So, Sol bounced off our 158 level here, it's making its move back up. We were talking about the 12-hour signals here. So the 12-hour was underneath the 200 EMA here, right? On its journey back up to the 50 now. Nice, 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 nice. So if you did get in on that 4-hour break of structure entry, nice. You should have your stop below the strong low. If you didn't, and you're looking for a retest, right? Anywhere underneath this trend ribbon, likely at this order block here on the 4-hour. Keep in mind this is into a daily golden cross play, so they may send this. They may not come back as far. If they do, I would look at around this decision demand area, this previous order block. If you didn't grab the entry earlier when I sent in the Discord. Okay. Man. Okay, 12-hour. Cool. Okay. I always like when you guys have good finds for us. Do you guys have any coins you want me to look at? Anything that y'all see interesting off of the stuff that we talk about here? Yeah, we can look at AIXPT. That's fine. Still in a death cross on the daily. So this order block didn't break any structure on the daily. So we don't necessarily care about that order block. Came up rejected from premium of the range. I'm going to be honest with you on this one. I would be looking for mitigation. Macro, I'd look for this. If you want to be a little more picky, I'd look for the order block. These are the two places that I would be most interested in, like a macro play on this would be either the order block here at 8.84 or at 90 cents or 9 cents, I'm sorry. Or no, that's not right, sorry. 9384. It's currently in a downtrend on the daily, so yeah, it's got some work to do. At the most basic level, right, you want to buy into strength, and right now, I guess you are getting a little break here. Let's look at our 4-hour. Yeah, not even the 4 hours in an uptrend, so that's why you're getting all these buy signals, right, because it's in a downtrend, so the signals to the upside are going to be better. To break 4-hour structure, you'd have to come above 13,506, so at minimum, I would want to see this break. 13,506 before I would jump in here. Otherwise, I think if you're more patient, I think the much better play is waiting for 93.84. You might miss it, right? But you're getting the good risk to reward, right? And meanwhile, while you're waiting on this, there's much better setups to take, right? I just don't think it's there yet. I don't think it's there yet. Hoping for a pullback? Yeah, then I'm with you. I'm with you. I would look to get in above your like 1 hour 200. You're getting nice 1 hour sell signals here. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Kelly. Yeah. Yeah, if you're looking for shorts, I have no problem taking shorts here. I would just I wouldn't really long this thing. Okay. It's at the top of the regression trend as well. Yeah. Let's see what we're looking at on our fibs here. So this is 4 hour structure, right? Because we know our 4 hour breaker structure is up there. So if we're looking for our retraces here. Yeah, it's rejecting. Hold on. Rejecting from our 0.5. You have your golden pocket up here really close. So like if it comes up to like 12.5, you could add short there. But yeah, you're at the top of the channel. You're getting sell signals on the 1 hour. You're getting a flip on the 2 hour. Yeah, I can see why you're looking for a pullback there. Okay. So look at injective. Yeah, we can look at injective. I'm glad you're not looking for a long on that. Makes me feel better. Okay. So it came above the 2 hour 200 right now. Let's see. Is this coin doing better on the daily? So this coin is setting up for a golden cross. So not there yet, right? Having a couple tests of the 200 EMA on the daily, right? But this time it's finding support, right, on the 50, which is what you want to see, and then find support on the 200, and then drag those up. And if you're looking to hold the coin, buy underneath and ride it up. But yeah, so you had some daily sells here going off. Let's see. Let's look at our 12 hour. Yeah. So this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about here, right? So on your 12 hour, you had your golden cross, you came back up, you hit your take profit one on your 50. Now, if we're looking for pullback entries here, we're hitting supply, right? So we would expect to get a cool off move here. If you watch the market structure video, you know we're hitting a bearish order block on the 12 hour. If we're looking at our 4 hour. Ooh, it's saving the golden cross on the 4 hour. So you have your golden cross on the 4 hour here. You're testing it here. Man, that 4 hour buy signal. Yeah, just setting these high time frame buy alerts when we're going up and sell alerts when we're going down on these altcoins works really well because you'll make sure you're getting in when it's really overextended on the higher time frames. So 4 hour. Did we break any structure? 4 hour flip bearish here. Is this a range deviation? It looks like a range deviation. Yeah. So 4 hour range deviation down to 11,960 would target the premium of the range, which would be up here at 15,461. Liquidity in all these highs. Rejecting from, okay, so we're at the 12 hour order block. Where would we expect to retrace to? So where do we have structure? What time frame? So we broke 2 hour structure bullishly here. So we have some we already tested this 2 hour breaker block. Let's see. Okay, we haven't quite tested it. So if we came down on the 2 hour, yeah, so if we came down on the 2 hour, we swept the liquidity in this low here. We could bounce from here. We also have an order block. Not as much deep of a retracement, but just something to be aware of, right? We have order blocks in the demand chain. Looking at 13 cents, 13,250, and then kind of where we're bouncing from right now at 13.5. I like sweeping this low and coming into the liquidity at 13.58. But these are just some levels to be aware of as well. If we're zooming in a little bit on our 5 minute. Okay. If you need to mark these levels, take a screenshot. You can always rewind it, right? Again, guys, when something's pumping, you don't have to FOMO, right? Strategic. We're going to go over it again. You guys are going to hear me go over this a million times, right? 5 minute, 50 crosses the 200. You're getting in underneath the 200, TP1 of the 50, and you're trying to ride it up, right? What's your invalidation? What is your invalidation? The 50 crosses back below the 200, you get out for a small loss, right? And if you're trading a crap coin, right, make sure you have a stop loss in case of flash dump, right? You can use your deviation bands. You can just use whatever percentage allows you to use like 1 to 2%, right? But generally, you're going to be getting out when the 50 crosses back down. And if it doesn't, you're riding it up for the next leg, you know, good 3% trade, right? Also, if you have Cipher Matrix, you can combine that with your reversal bands, right? Getting in your overbought signals or oversold signals in an uptrend, right? If you're able to stack confluences, right, so you're underneath the 200, the 50 is above, you're in the reversal band, you're getting 5-minute buy signals, trend ribbon flips teal, right? You're trying to stack as many confluences in your favor as possible. Steep uptrend on the trend channel. These look good, right? Like right now. It's giving you a pretty good setup right now, right? You could wait for the trend ribbon to flip, but you're at the bottom of the channel, you're at the reversal band, nice little doji engulf. Looks good on objective right now. Okay. All right, right? You have your strong low here, right? You know your strong lows here. 13,276, right? Bullish divergence at the lows. All right, if you're looking for a scalp, it's not bad, right? Okay. Obviously, like, you have an entry here as well. Previous mitigation of this previous range, sitting at 13,363 if it comes lower. Oh, 12-hour 200 play, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, it is in 12-hour supply. You have 12-hour supply above you. But I don't think it looks terrible, right? Like, this is a much better setup than AIXBT, for example, right? Let's take our I am wrong line here. Right, so this is your I am wrong line for the uptrend. You got a nice retest of it. Looks good, looks good. Yeah, I think you can scalp this trend up using the 5-minute is what I'd do if you're not in a trade. If you're looking for a swing trade, you can take a trade off the 1 hour, but it's kind of overheated here. Like if you're in a long, I would hold it, right, until this trend ribbon flips. If you're not in a swing long already, I would just scalp it on the 5-minute. I'd just be in and out, taking money out of it and on all of these swings up. That's what I'd be doing. I wouldn't look to like get in now and hold it to Valhalla, right, because you're kind of at a decision point. I would just look to scalp the impulsive moves up. Hope that helps. Okay. ILV. Yeah. I'm gonna get ILV. Dang, what is this? Okay. Alright. Let me make sure this isn't a scam before I go over this. Oh, Cuban, you recommended it? Alright. I'll give it a shot here. This looks rough, man. Okay. Yeah, it hasn't even proven that it should really exist yet. It's underneath its lifetime VWAP. Take a VWAP from the low. Okay, I mean, it has gotten over the VWAP from, or it's maintaining above the VWAP from the low. Even on something as dumpy as this, I mean, the Cipher Matrix buys still gave you some okay entries here. 12 cents and 13 cents. Let's look at our daily. So you're getting a break of structure, which I like. You're getting a MACD flip, which I also like. You're inside the reversal band, which I also like. Okay. All right, Cuban. I was a little worried when you suggested this, but I see what you're saying. You're setting up for a golden cross on the daily. Wow. I love that even on these coins, like it makes it so easy to see, right? Like bullish cross, buy underneath, bullish cross, buy underneath, right? Infinite leg up. All right, and you almost got stopped out, but you didn't. It saved it, and up you go, bang into the upside. Nice, nice. It's the stuff we teach, guys. It's the stuff we teach. If you're not in the Learning Discord, join the Learning Discord pinned at the top of the chat. Amazing traders in there, helping each other every day. Okay. Bullish cross, retest, holding it. This looks like a 5-minute scalping coin to me. Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm going to show it to you over and over again, guys. Until you make sure you're taking these trades with the confluences, guys. It doesn't have to be hard. The title of the video, trading doesn't have to be hard. This EMA trick proves it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, at this point, this thing's going to the moon. I mean, I would just set an alert on the 5-minute. If it comes underneath the 5-minute 200, you can probably try to take a play on it. Right now, I mean, you can get in, and then your invalidation would be if you lose the reversal bands. This is just trending, bro. But it's like, yeah. I mean, are you already long on this? Lots of big money behind it still. Yeah, I see what you're saying. The chart doesn't look bad. Like, I like this 12-hour setup. If there is actually a strong project behind this, then I can see why there's appeal. I would just make sure that you definitely have a stop loss because this thing dumped really hard. But if it's a legit project, like it's breaking out of the matrix trend right now over the deviation level, so, and I mean it just pumped all of this in like the past like 3 hours. Yeah. I think you can scalp this, and I think there's money to be made here. And in terms of a trade setup, it's super overextended right now, and I definitely wouldn't short a rocket, so I don't really have anything for you. I would just look at your EMAs on your 4-hour. Or on your 5-minute, I mean. Okay, cool. WLD? Yeah, you look at WLD. All right. Let's take a look. Man, they really reset the altcoin market, huh? Okay. So you lost your previous support from 2023, putting in lower high after lower high. Looks like a giant macro head and shoulders. It's been a pretty good forever short for like the past year. You're getting a bearish flip on the MACD now. Can I find anything useful to say about this? I mean, you're at an SR flip. That's pretty much all I have for you here. This looks like trash, brother. I mean, there's just so many better setups out there. I mean, money's going to rotate in waves. Like, maybe this does well later, but if I'm being honest with you, I mean, it looks like it's rejecting from, like, yeah, the 50% right now, right? Yeah, I can't really help you much on this, man. I don't like this coin at all. I don't really want to recommend anybody trade this, to be honest with you. This looks like garbage. I know that it's a legit project. I've heard the name a lot, but looking at this chart right now, at least, maybe later when it looks better, if it holds, I mean, if it holds 9685, that could be the floor, right? But who knows? Who knows? Okay. That's all I can really do for you on this one, Ando. I don't really like this chart. I mean, so you break the daily here, you reject hard from the 200 and the reversal zone, bearish engulf, comes down, a little bit of a bullish engulf. Whew, man. I do like that it bounced from demand here. All right, so that's nice. I would say if you want to trade anything bullish on this, it needs to flip some structure. Your relevant structure is going to be up here, 109. This would be your 4-hour structure high. This needs to get broken for me to change my mind. It needs to hold this support. That's the previous like low support, and it needs to run 4-hour structure, in my opinion. I mean, if you truly, really believe in this coin, I mean, you got 4-hour buy signals. It's oversold. You're flipping your 4-hour band. You buy underneath. You can look to write it up if you believe in it. Okay. I think we got all of the... Oh, I'm sorry. Fecker, I should have done you first. I didn't see that, chat. Yeah, we can look at 1 inch. Let's take a look. Okay. Man, I remember back in 2021 when these coins were actually worth something. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, like, ETH is pumping like crazy right now, and 1 inch is like not doing anything. I mean, it looks like it's bouncing from a golden pocket on the 4-hour, right? Or on the weekly. So that's good for it, right? It's respecting for a golden pocket there. That's kind of nice. So the weekly flip structure up here. So this is a level to watch, right? Although that is internal structure, right? So external structure on the weekly doesn't flip till up here. One thing that I will say 1 inch has going for it compared to what we just looked at is it is kind of holding this like macro support going back to July of 2023, but out of that support, right? Like it touches that support, it comes up, touches that support, comes up, touches that support, comes up. It's just putting in lower highs out of that support, so I'd like to see that broken. I'd like to see it break this resistance before I would say it looks like it's doing anything besides just put in lower highs. Yeah, Ondo, yeah, that's what I would say. I'd say stop loss at entry, yeah. One thing that 1 inch does have going for it is it had its 50 cross the 200, retested underneath the 200. Let's see how it's respected this in the past. So it had a bullish cross here. It did hit the 50 EMA target, but didn't do much after that and then rolled over. So back at the beginning of this run, so it did respect it here. You had a nice 80% move out of it, and a nice 50% move. Yeah, so it's possible, man. It's just, I mean, I don't hate it unless it starts trading below here. Like this would kind of, if it falls back below this macro support again. So if you're in this coin, I would say, you know, you can put your stop loss underneath. Well, let's use like this support resistance here, right? So underneath like 1.7, like if it comes down to 1.7 again, I don't like it at all. So other than that, I mean, you're bouncing from a support here from, if you look at market structure here, right? You have your, what do we talk about on this channel all the time, guys, right? You have your range, initiation, mitigation, continuation, right? So you are mitigating. I do like how there's some daily internal structure here. If we get above 29.50, I could see if you really want to position on this, getting in there, stop loss below this low, looking to come up to the resistance line. It's like a 3-to-1. If you happen to break the resistance up to liquidity, it's like a 6-to-1, yeah. So that would be how I would play this. Set your alert like 29.47 for a daily structure break, and then I would put your stop below there. That's how I would play this. Cool. And if you're already in a position on spot, I would have a hard out at 17 cents again. Hope that helps, Becker. Okay. Let me just look at something here. Nice little EMA strat here. Right. 13 EMAs above the 50, buy underneath the 50, TP1 hit at 13. We recovered 50% of the vector. Oh, wow, that's crazy. So if we come down to the 106, that would be filling this vector as well. But again, we had the daily 50 EMA we would expect to bounce. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I would set an alert here, 33.20. Bitcoin's falling. Yeah, we hit a resistance level on Bitcoin to gold here, so again, it's just going sideways right now. Nothing too concerning here. Okay, cool. Back to what we were doing. I just wanted to check that real quick. Okay. We can take a look at Bitcoin here one more time before we go. Let's see. Go to our 5-minute. Again, remember we had that OBIM marked at 114.489. We're watching our EMAs here. We're at the bottom of the channel in the reversal zone. Strong low, remember, make sure you have your strong low marked at 114. Yeah, it's still just going sideways, Jason. Yep. In this little area here, right? Again, the level to watch would be your strong low. This is a 1 hour strong low at 114.079. Okay, guys, well, make sure you like the stream. If you missed the beginning of the stream, make sure you go back and watch the first 15 minutes of the stream. The first 15 minutes of the stream is always where we do Bitcoin TA. If you, and it's definitely very important to watch that, right? It kind of sets up all the rest of the coins. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell. Make sure you join the free learning Discord in the description above. If you haven't yet, or in the chat above, if you haven't yet watched the Trading Doesn't Have to Be Hard, This EMA Trick Proves a video on the channel, definitely watch that. If you haven't watched the one-on-one that I did with Kelvin on the channel and the follow-up one-on-one that I did, definitely go watch both of those. There's a nice little EMA strat that just played out on the daily in that video with Kelvin as well, right? So we stream 5 days a week. Sorry about being a little late today. But that about does it for today's stream. Trade safe, guys. My name's Wave Cipher. Much love. Wave Cipher out.